What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the Born Offside Podcast. I got Kat and Olan ready to rumble. Today, we're diving into brawls all around world football. Messi taking the mickey out of PSG. Our Socceroos are back on home soil, and we answer all your questions, one of which get Olan and Kat pretty heated. Check it out. What's happening, guys? Welcome to the Born Offside Podcast. We're back for week 3. There's plenty to get through. We're going to be chatting all things international football a little bit later on, but for now, I'm going to start with my favorite segment. It's all our favorite segment, and all you guys commenting seem to love it. It's offside or onside. Olan, offside is bad.
Yes.
Onside is good.
Got
You on board?
Just
you onside?
I'm there.
You get it?
It's only a basic football construct.
Yeah.
I know. I'm a bit slow.
We forgive him because he's a centre back, and offside is usually a good thing. When you look across, you see that flag up. But we're going to kick it off with a bit of shithousery from the Serie A.
All right.
Hakan Çalhanoğlu played against his old club. He's now playing for Inter. He was at AC Milan last season. Scores a pen. Celebrates like a pork chop. Knee slide and all. Cat, offside or onside, celebrating against your old club.
Entertainment value onside as a viewer, but it's pretty offside to behave like that.
Have you ever scored against an old club?
She doesn't score much.
Wow. Okay. First of all, I have scored many a time. Maybe not at the league that you recognise. I haven't actually played a club that I've competed against, so I can't really speak for that, honestly.
Okay. You're a one-club woman.
I'm a one-club woman. Very loyal.
Fair enough. Well, someone with more clubs than King's Cross in the 90s, OlanTekkers.
For me, that's 100% onside.
Yeah.
Like, for me, that's class. That's what I love. I love that kind of competitive stage where you're just celebrating in the fans' face. What springs to mind is the Adebayor goal against who's it against again?
Against Arsenal for Spurs.
Against Arsenal for Spurs. Goes there, sprints all the way to the other end, and the crowd are just going mad, throwing stuff at him. That's what football's about.
Yeah.
I love
Actually, he was at City at the time, I think.
He was
at City at the time. Then he went to Spurs and scored against Arsenal again. He just kept scoring against Arsenal.
That guy.
Yeah, it is.
Always wanting problems.
It's peak, you know. Milan Inter's not that bad, but earlier this year, Pedro did it. He went from Roma to Lazio, which hasn't been done in 40 years.
Wow.
And he scored and ran off,
he
celebrated.
did that.
Yeah.
That's massive to do it.
It takes balls, though.
It does take balls.
You know you're going to take
do it with those two teams especially.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah. Okay. So Olan says it's onside. You say it's offside.
Entertainment value onside.
Yeah, I do like the entertainment value, right?
Yeah,
I do like.
I'm down to watch it.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, he's not a club legend either. Look, it's fair play. We'll pay it. We'll pay it. Now, next one. We're going to go to the German Bundesliga for this one.
The Bundesliga.
Joshua Kimmich, some player. Olan, I know he exists in your ultimate team.
Yeah, he does.
I know.
Doesn't do anything for me. Anyway.
And you've been complaining about him.
Yeah.
But look at this, right? Because one of his former teammates, I believe, or a club legend at Bayern Munich, is Mario Gomez, who's criticised him midweek because Kimmich came out saying he's pretty openly, he doesn't want to take the vaccine. Right, he wants to keep playing. He says it's his choice. There hasn't been enough research done in it. Gomez comes out and he's gone, that's selfish of you, because the only reason there's crowds in there watching you play is because all those people got vaccinated. So you can't pick and choose as a player. We're seeing this across world sport at the moment. Onside or offside?
It's a techie one. It's the one that is not straightforward. That's what I believe. At the same time, I say because he's got so many people watching him and so many people that have an eye on him, it would be a good example for him to get it. But then it's free will as well. Does he want to get it? Does he not want to get it? So it's still in his court. But I think it's just one of the ones where it's like, it's not offside, but you're just playing right on that line. It's the VAR one.
We'll go to VAR.
We'll go to VAR. We'll see what the ref says.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's in a position to really give an opinion on that, in the sense of, like, that's our future. In every sport, you look at the Australian Open, they're talking about that already. Are they going to let players in, whether or not they're vaccinated? It's just the reality that we live in, and whether or not I agree with it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, right? Like, the reality is a team needs him to play.
Yeah,
that's facts.
So if he's not vaccinated, it's on them whether or not they let him.
Are they letting non-vax players compete? They are, right?
Yeah, but it's still a discussion a lot. Like you've said, it's happening in the A-League.
There's 3 or 4 players in the A-League, and
what team?
Don't.
We don't really want to drop them in the mud like that. All right. We'll keep it.
I think before long it will be common knowledge anyway. But it's happening here as well.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I think actually, producer Nick, it happened in the NFL, right? Yes. Aaron Rodgers. Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers. as well,
NFL.
in the NFL.
Is that where we're going?
USA, baby. USA, fuck yeah.
Hey, what?
Actually, that's a sport we haven't touched on yet.
Yeah,
NFL
for good reason, right?
is
Oh, you're not a fan?
brutal sport. You know what? It is one of the most exciting sports to watch when you're at one of the games. I will say that.
Yeah.
But it's like one of those sports where it's like, it's so American that it's just like, you know what I mean? It's just like, just American. It's such an American sport, you know what I mean? Nowhere else in the world plays it. Our country is so big that we can create our own sport and no one really cares. That sounds a lot like AFL.
Yeah, it is. I know, very similar. Right?
Anyway, we'll move on.
It's very similar.
Bit true.
It's true about American sports, man. When I was over there, I went to watch baseball live. Have you ever been to the baseball?
Nah, baseball's not really for me.
Man, it's like, I don't know if it's 8 or 9 innings, right?
Yeah.
And
Doesn't make any sense.
right, between every single one, there's something gimmicky, right?
Yeah,
So there's
yeah,
like kiss cam, everyone kiss. Then there's
I
like
love those kiss cam
dance
videos.
cam. Then there's like,
so
it's just-
American.
They're very good at entertainment.
That
though.
is true.
And that's
It's a
something,
whole
even
show,
an
right?
NRL grand final here, where you'd think that they would have enough money to make it big,
Yeah.
is not even an average game in the States.
That's the thing that the Americans do. They put on a whole entire show. Like,
Yeah.
you think of Super Bowl, it's like a whole event. You know what I mean?
Super Bowl is
They do a
World Cup
for
kind of
for them.
entertainment, but
Yeah.
it's one country.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. They do well at that, to be fair.
They do. And football, to be honest, it's kind of moving in that direction. We've seen it with the European Super League. Apparently that's coming back. We've seen some of these decisions happening in Europe with even just things like the Champions League, the World Cup expanding to 48 teams, playing every 2 years. It's a bit gimmicky now. And we're pretty much following American sports. That's offside. We all know that. I want to go to the next one. Speaking of Americans, actually, this is a good one. FIFA 22. We mentioned last week that EA Sports looked to be losing the rights to like the most popular video game in the world. 2K are in the running to get it, meaning they're going to have NBA 2K and they're going to have FIFA. It's going to be called like FIFA 2K23.
That would be massive, especially just
It's
because
huge.
there's so many 2K players that also play FIFA as well.
Yeah.
So we're just wondering if there's going to be a crossover between players. Like, are you going to be able to ball out with your guy on FIFA and then go straight on to 2K and
That's
then
like
go to the park with
Korean
him?
mode.
Switch over.
On a whole other
If they did a
level.
crossover between that, I want a part of it. I'm just disclaimer, copyright on this right now. If they do this in the future, but I think that's onside. I think that would take the game of FIFA in a different direction, and it might actually help us out.
Yeah. I think it's onside. Healthy competition.
Always good.
And it means that the game keeps evolving too. Like, no one should get too comfortable.
Yeah.
100.
Just keep improving.
Bring back
Make it
Pez,
better.
I reckon.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
Let's not start on Pez. Have you seen the latest Pez? Oh my God, they're in the mud. They're not even in the mud. They're in the dirt below the soil. It's horrible. It's horrible.
That used to be good. Pez used to be onto
Pez
something.
like a Pez. Did you play Pro Evo like 3 with the bald ref on the front?
Yes.
That was a good game.
That was good.
That was a good game, but I don't know what happened.
That was
It
when
just got-
Adriano had like 99 shot and like he was
and the Pez was
goat.
always like they couldn't like put the names. They had like a random team's names. You couldn't like Manchester United wasn't called Manchester United.
Man
It was called
Red.
Like, it was called like Man Red or something.
I actually
'cause they
don't
didn't
know
have the
about
rights.
this. That's so funny.
Yeah, it was crazy.
You know what? Speaking of games, quickly before we move on, a mate of mine back in the day, I used to go to his house. He had all those illegal games, and you just download from the internet. And did you ever play Red Card?
No.
There was a game called Red Card
Yeah.
where it was it was banned in most countries, and we used to play. It was like street football, but you could kick each other, like you could full on get into punch-ons, and it was just like, and you could
Mad.
grab, you could like dive, you could dive in the
What?
box to win a penalty, you could start
Oh,
fighting.
Just like
Wow.
GTA meets.
100%. Like you were just saying,
FIFA.
crossing games. It was literally like a
Yeah.
fighting
I like
game
that.
meets
I
football.
just remember there was a point, I don't even remember, I remember it was 13, 14, where Xbox or whatever, there was people downloading illegal games
Yeah,
and like for free.
yeah.
And they're doing it for a long time, and then all those people just got like banned from
Yeah.
Xbox, and you couldn't go online.
Yeah.
I remember that was a
Yeah.
while ago. That's what it reminded me of.
Are you banned at the moment from Twitch?
Yeah.
Oh,
Speaking of-
shit! Speaking of banned,
Good segue.
yeah.
What'd you do?
We've taken the L, but we will bounce back. Love Island have finally. You know what? All of my fans, I appreciate you guys because we actually did this to ourselves.
Okay.
So we basically we watched Love Island live, right? Basically, everyone wants to get me on the after show, takeover, whatever. I said, you know what? We're streaming live. I said, you know what? Everyone go spam the comments. Let's get in the comments. Get OlanTekkers on the after show. Blah 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 blah. Hundreds of comments now commenting saying OlanTekkers, get on there.
Bang.
And they've clicked on me. Say, who's this OlanTekkers guy? Wait a second. He's streaming Love Island. Copyright.
Oh, because you're not allowed to
You're
stream.
not
So
technically-
did
yeah,
your
you're
stream
technically-
just drop out?
Yeah, literally, I was in the middle of a reaction. Like someone had just gone off, and I was going,
Oh my
sitting there
gosh.
with Ronnie, and I've gone back and I've gone, wait, why is no one commenting? What's going on here?
Cut you out.
And Ronnie's like, no, just refresh it. I'm like, Ronnie, that's not a refreshing sort of thing, yeah? we're finished. Next minute, I get an email saying, yeah, Love Island Australia has copyrighted your blah, blah, blah thing, and your page is down for 2 days. So I was like, all right, cool.
2 days. That's
What's
Yeah, we'll
OlanTekkers without his Love
I
Island
know,
stream?
Just
though?
football
what
now.
am I? Well, I'm just football now. I'm
Yeah.
just going to be talking about Mo Salah and Eden Hazard and stuff like that, you know?
Oh yeah,
Nice.
you've seen the rundown. You know what's coming down a little bit later on. Let's hold on to that. Onside 2K Sports, we love it.
Yeah.
I want to move on with manager sackings. There've been a few of them this weekend. Daniel Farker from Norwich was let go. Farker, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
What the fuck?
What the Farker?
Yeah.
And
he was I actually liked him.
yeah, he was cool.
He was just like one of those coaches that you can tell was like kind of real.
Yeah.
But like, you know what I mean? He had that really like
Yeah.
fan, real kind of feel to him. Like doesn't really care too much about press and all of that sort of stuff. Like that's the kind of feel he had to him. But Lomwich were really down in the mud, really. So
Yeah, but off the
What?
back of a win, that's
off the back
that's
of the win,
savage.
it's savage. It was pre-planned.
Yeah, it definitely was pre-planned. He had
Didn't
no
matter about the
idea.
result, did it? He was gone anyway.
Apparently, he had absolutely no idea. He was celebrating with the players in the change
They
room.
win
walked
Oh
out.
no!
Yeah, he walked out and then got
Oh
sacked.
no!
Oh no!
Yeah.
I was
That's
going to
out of order.
ask you if he was blindsided, but
Yeah.
that says
Oh,
enough in
that's like
itself.
I think that's the epitome of going from like 100 to 0.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly right.
First win and then bang him out of the job. Right, it's
yeah.
been a pleasure.
I mean, it's the common story this
It
season.
is.
5 managers sacked already. I want to ask you, Kat, onside or offside, how quick they're sacking managers now in world football?
Look, I'm of the opinion that if you're not doing your job well, put someone else in that role.
Damn.
And it's harsh, but
It's
like
harsh.
these guys are being paid a lot of money. There's a lot at stake.
Yeah.
You've got hundreds of thousands of fans tuning in every week. They want to see you do well. It's the reality of the job that they've chosen. And I actually think if they're not doing well, it's time for a change.
Sack 'em.
I actually
Saka.
disagree with that.
Yeah.
I think they need more time.
Yeah.
Just because.
But how much time?
But you've
That's
seen it with
a
like
good
Mikel Arteta.
That's
People
a
were
good
saying he
question.
was going to get sacked. He's
That's-
stuck there. Now he's look at him.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of like let them stick around for a little bit, and I think just give them at least like a season.
Okay, so Lampard had stayed. Do you think Chelsea would be doing as well as they're doing
That's a
with
good
Tuchel?
question. That's a very good fucking question. No, but Lampard wasn't ready for the job when he got it.
So that
Kinda like
that's why
Solskjaer.
they got rid of him, though.
Yeah, he wasn't ready for the job when he got it, but he did a tremendous job when he did get it for the first season. You remember, like, you guys would play
Sure.
all the young players. That was also because we had the transfer ban or whatever. He did very well.
He did very well at turning academy players into
Yeah,
Premier
he
League.
did very
players.
well. But yeah, you're right. He's done a better job than Lampard. But we'll leave it there.
Damn,
Yeah,
Cat. That's 1-0 Cat. Cat's
Yeah,
just,
no,
put, just
Cat's
put,
caught me there. Shit.
Well, you bring up Egypt so much, I had to say something. Good.
put you in your place. Now, it's club football takes a break. We move into the international weekend, which I
Claude's
know.
favourite.
Yeah, well, you two don't like it.
No.
I love it. This is real football for me.
God,
This is
stop.
football in its purest form, OlanTekkers.
Nah.
This is when you put on the colours of your country and you can't choose. There's no multi-million-dollar contracts here. You play for your country and that's it. It's
Can
like
I,
going to
can I
war.
challenge you on that, Claudes?
Okay.
challenge him.
Can I say about the whole? Let me hear your thoughts on the whole people switching nationalities when they don't get a call up. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. Yeah, look, like Aymeric Laporte, for example, going and
Emerick
playing for Spain.
Laporte, I think even Hudson-Odoi might
Yeah.
have chosen now to play for Ghana, I believe, instead of England. I don't know because he wants the first team.
Wow.
So there's a few players that are changing a little bit. Also, Diego Costa's one.
Yeah, he swapped.
Yeah, he
that's right.
swapped.
And sometimes it goes bad because Mikel Antonio thought he'd never get an England call up. He played for Jamaica a couple of years ago. Now look at him, he's killing it. in the
now he's
Premier League.
killing it.
Can't
Might
play
get-
for England.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think they're not just picking out of a hat. You know, it's not like me going, you know what, I want to play for Vietnam. It's actually like it's some sort of.
Yeah, you're right.
You have to have the citizenship to play for him. So you either have to live there for a certain amount of time, or you have a distant relative or something. I mean, we can't talk, bro. Have you seen our Socceroos squad at the moment? We've picked up like
well,
one.
that's what I was going to say is we've got, one from Scotland, one
Yeah.
from the UK.
Yeah,
Well, like, are they like English born or are they like?
our right back recently in our most recent game against Japan.
Yeah.
hadn't been to Australia. He's going to be his first time coming.
Oh, that's offside. That's offside. What?
Yeah.
He's never been to Australia before.
No. Times are tough here,
Oh,
Olan.
wow. Who'd you play for?
He's over in Croatia. He's Croatian. Well, he's Karadzic. He's got Australian heritage.
Yeah.
Grew up in Croatia. Plays over there in the first division.
So it's not even like he's in Croatian first division, is it?
It's solid. I mean, the A-League's not playing at the
No.
moment, so we've got to do the best we got, with...
For people that are playing.
Yeah, Harry
Okay.
Suter, if you've heard him speak, he's like, right, you wee bastard. Yeah, he's
Oh,
he's
really?
not Aussie at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Hey, well, Aussie, do what you got to do to qualify
it.
Aussies. That's
The
what I've got to say,
reality
man.
is-
Do what
Yeah.
you got to do to get.
And we do need them.
Yeah,
We do
so
need them. So
to get on England's and Nigeria's level, just do what you got to do anyway.
Nigeria's level. Nigeria bottled the last World Cup, by the way. You guys had a great
There's
side.
corruption out there. Anyway, we'll move on.
What I did want to get to, though, with international football coming back is this crazy travel clause that is in Leo Messi's contract, right? Because Messi's been injured recently for Paris. So has Paredes, another Argentinian player. Both these guys, despite being injured, jumped on a plane and flew back to Argentina. They're part of the squad now because in their contract, they can go travel home at any time that they want to play for the national team. So Paris aren't happy about this because obviously it's a bit of a piss take. Firstly, before I move on, onside or offside? Leo Messi just going home whenever he pleases to
it's
play?
Messi. Let him do what he
Onside.
wants.
Do whatever you want, Messi.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
the GOAT. Do
Yeah?
what you want.
Okay.
Don't want any CR7 fans in the comments either. Anyway.
Can do what he wants.
Yeah, let him do what he wants.
Okay, but it got me thinking
Yeah.
of the craziest contract clauses I've ever seen. Have a listen to some of these, right?
Alright.
First one. Dennis Bergkamp, legend, arguably one of the best to ever play for Arsenal.
True.
And
Facts.
he had a no-fly policy, so they couldn't force him to get on a plane because he was terrified of flying. So he missed countless Champions League nights and all this because he just didn't want to get on a plane. Onside or offside?
It's on. I feel like that's onside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's onside
It's
because
a-
if he's got a genuine phobia,
Yeah,
like what are
you
they
got
gonna do?
Femi,
Like
yeah, you
get on the
can't-
plane and he's
can't
like
really
shaking.
force
Yeah.
man to just fly over for the game. Yeah. I feel like that's onside.
Yeah? Yeah.
Definitely.
It's offside for the team.
Yeah, it sucks,
It's
doesn't it?
What,
You're
for
the best
massively
player.
offside
Oh
for the
yeah,
team.
because they
Yeah, because
bring out a detriment.
and in my opinion, there's always another way to get there. Maybe they needed just to put in a little more planning around
What
Get
do
a
you
boat.
mean?
getting. I have
Would-
a family friend who moved to Canada and got a cargo ship there because he was so scared of flying.
How
he
long?
couldn't have picked.
How long did it
It
take
took
you?
him like 2 weeks.
Oh no!
But the thing is-
how long was he in Canada
I'd be more scared
for?
of a ship, to be honest.
Yeah,
I've seen
imagine
Titanic.
The size of the waves and stuff.
Nah,
No way.
Sorry, that's too
I know,
long.
but he couldn't have picked a further place to go and a more
Yeah.
uncomfortable way to travel.
Mm.
But he did it, and that's my point. Is I'm sure there was another way. For
But
him to
wait,
get to
so
those
what?
games.
Bergkamp's not. He's
I'm
not
not
gonna.
telling him to get on a cargo
He's
ship.
got a Champions League game, so he's technically gonna miss out like 2 Premier League games to get over to where he's traveling
And
to.
in a cargo
to
ship
play-
container.
I
play
actually,
it.
I don't think that's too much to ask at all.
That's absolutely onside.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
fair enough. Yeah.
Okay, completely onside. You know what? I actually saw recently Thierry Henry was on TV and they did these quick fire questions. They asked him best player you've ever played with, and he said Bergkamp.
Really? You didn't say Messi?
And they
You know why?
double
You
take.
know
They're like,
why?
you've played with Messi, right? And he goes Bergkamp.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, but you know why?
Why?
Because he never had to worry about jet lag.
Jeez.
Tell me I'm wrong.
is that-
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
Wow.
Because we can easily say that is a massive problem for the Socceroos.
Yeah. True.
Okay.
True.
Like it's an actual issue for Australian football
What,
players.
like when they come back over
yeah,
to here, they struggle
it
with.
takes so much longer to adjust.
Yeah,
You remember I name dropped, I think it was a couple weeks ago about chatting Arsene Wenger.
yeah, I remember that.
Who is he again, sorry?
He's big. He's kind of a
Yeah.
big deal, right? And his whole thing on the World Cup being played a little bit differently every 2 years and less international breaks is the fact that Messi travels 380,000 kilometers during his World Cup qualifying campaign, whereas Harry Kane will travel only 60,000 because he's in
Wow.
Europe. So they're saying it takes its toll on players flying all the way across the
he's-
world.
Okay, Kat,
So-
I'll give you
So
that.
Cat might be onto something for
I
the
think
second
I'm
time
onto
today.
something. Is
Your
that 2
cat
points
tonight.
now?
Jeez.
Yeah.
You gotta lay off the shrooms, Cat. You're all over it. Your mind's like
Yeah.
Wait,
expanded right now.
I'm actually flying.
Different dimensions tonight, Cat, man. Philosopher Cat.
Philosopher Cat.
She's back.
Okay. Next contract clause. We're back on contract clauses.
Yeah.
This one's a great one. I love this one. Ronaldinho, one of our favorites. I mean, this guy epitomizes
Gotta
happy
love
football.
him.
One of the goats.
One of the goats. When he signed back for Flamengo in 2011, he had a clause in his contract that he's allowed to go partying at nightclubs 2 nights a week.
Brilliant.
I'm surprised there's only 2. I thought it would have been 4 because he was out every night. We know it's like there was that time period where we're seeing pictures of Ronaldinho just everywhere, being mobbed in the streets. You know what I mean? He was just at the end of his career, enjoying it. And I feel like Ronaldinho's gave us enough to, at the end of the career, just do what you want. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
just have fun.
Have fun. You know
I
what I
think
mean?
it's refreshing.
Onside,
Just
definitely for me.
Good
Onside.
time. If you did the same, how many nights would you need at Coogee Pav per week?
Oh, jeez. 1 or 2. No, I'm taking a break from Coogee Pav, man. I'm there too often. You know what I'm saying? I need to make celebrity appearances once in a while. Apart from that, I'll be back soon. I'll be back soon, Coogee Pav. Don't worry, hold it there.
You're inflating his head here.
That was not the intention at all.
You know, Ronaldinho said in an interview when he signed for a Mexican side, I remember he went to Mexico at one stage and he said, I'm here, I don't know, his words translated to, I'm here to win titles and women. He said that. He said that in the press conference.
That is so far on side. That's the best thing I've heard. That is so far on side.
Yeah, we had Dwight Yorker did the same thing here in Sydney. Apparently, he ran amok when he was playing for Sydney FC. Yeah.
So he was just out partying. Really?
Huge, party boy.
Scoring goals.
Yeah.
Still scoring goals. Some players can do that, to be fair.
On and off.
Some players can do that.
Yeah. Last one I want to talk about. This one just had me in stitches. Giuseppe Reina, German player. He was playing for Arminia Bielefeld in the 90s. Signed a contract for Arminia in the Bundesliga, 3-year deal. Put a clause in there that said the club has to build me a house every year for 3 years. So 3 houses by the end of his contract.
Smart investment.
Smart investment, right? Not really, Olan. Because Arminia Bielefeld built him a Lego house every year for 3 years, and it was legally okay.
They actually violated him.
No, that is a violation of the highest degree. What?
Safe to say he left.
Yeah, oh my.
Okay, but what I want to know is, year 1 comes around.
Yeah.
And he goes, so how's my house going?
Yeah.
And they show him this Lego, and he goes, okay.
Well, he wouldn't have been happy after that.
Fuck.
2 more years of that.
That is, it's like, I don't even know, by the club, is it onside or offside by the club? Like, that is...
It's clever.
It's very clever. But for him, I'll be fuming. I'd stop playing games, I think. I'd stop playing games. Nah, where's my house?
Yeah.
I'm trying to build when I finish. I'm trying to invest. I'm looking at properties. So I've done all this, and then you're doing this to me.
Yeah, they've done it.
Taking me for a joke, man? No.
It's rough. I just I hope that the value of that Lego has gone up because, guys, it's actually not a bad investment.
Oh, no.
Lego?
Yeah.
Nah, don't give me that. Lego's in a good investment.
Yeah.
Is it
you were just asking about NFTs before.
Okay.
Your next Google search,
Legos
Lego.
and NFTs. That's what we're going for.
And if I'm wrong, no one tell me.
Got you.
Okay, Kat, I think it's 2-1. I think you've bottled that one. But fair play. You're still doing all right.
No, let's do a Google search before you
coming back.
wrong.
I'm coming back.
Maybe later, Kat.
Okay.
Let's not say we did. But sticking with the theme of international football, because I am excited that it's back, because the Socceroos are back on home soil for the first time after 2 years. And I caught up with Graham Arnold last week to chat all things Socceroos before he went into camp.
Name drop.
Another name drop.
Yeah,
second of the day.
Very good name drop.
Yeah,
for this week.
Actually a top guy, man. You know what? Like when you watch him on TV, he seems like a real hard ass. He's not like that at all. He's actually super chill, and he's like he treats the players really well as well. He's actually such a softie at heart. It's quite interesting. But he spoke about the Socceroos, and he spoke about I guess how big this is for them to be back on home soil. They got one of the best home records in world football. Kat, you talk at length about the golden generation. We spoke about this, but how far behind is this current crop of players to the golden generation? We've won an Asian Cup.
Yeah, we've won an Asian Cup.
What's that again? Just reiterate just what that Asian Cup is again. I don't know what it is. I actually don't know. I'm being dead serious. What is an Asian Cup? But there might be internationals listening thinking, what the fuck is that? Just shed some light.
You know the Euro?
Yeah. Which
you guys haven't won. The English haven't won a Euro ever.
Yeah, well, we got to the finals anyway.
Okay. Well, we've won the Asian Cup, which is our equivalent here in Asia.
Oh, God.
Okay.
The Asian Cup is equivalent to Euros.
Bro, that's our...
Is equivalent to... is it on the same level? Like, who? Okay, name another team.
Japan. Great nation.
Okay, we're just going to end this right here. What? Japan is one of the best teams in the Asian
Cup.
South Korea.
They're actually very
good.
team.
Okay, no.
Look at what Son's doing in the Prem.
Japan is decent. Okay, take that back with Japan. But who else?
We're playing Saudi Arabia this week.
Top 2.
Newcastle United.
I'm not going to say anything else. Comments. You guys know.
Saudi Arabia's buying your whole league right now.
Yeah,
you know that.
Yeah, I know that. But have they got ballers? Is the question.
Yeah, they've got ballers. But we're better. We'll win this week.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
So when is the next Asian Cup? I just need to know so I can actually tune in.
The Asian Cup.
Yeah. How many years?
After the World Cup in 2023. It's going to be in China, the next one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's in Asia.
Yeah.
Got you.
But Kat, what I did want to ask you is on this current crop of Socceroos,
Yeah.
it's been titled by some the lost generation.
Yeah.
Compared to the golden, of course. What do you make of it? Is it all doom and gloom? Have we got good enough players to go on a run at the World Cup potentially?
It's not doom and gloom, but it's nothing near the golden generation.
Why?
Okay, look at the squads. The golden generation had, and don't quote me, but 6 or 7 players were playing very, very top tier football in
To be
Europe.
honest, more than that.
More than that.
Yeah.
We have 2, I think, playing relatively top tier.
Yeah, we
And
have
even
2 in
then-
Europe's top 5 leagues, and both of them aren't really starting at the moment.
That's
Okay.
it. That's
And
crazy.
okay, it's one thing to say that the success of a team, what they look on paper, right?
Yeah.
That's one thing. And yes, they've got this great winning streak going on, but I just think there is a real lack of unique, creative playing in this team.
Yeah.
And you know, in Graham Arnold's defense, it's incredibly difficult to coach that squad right now. They get very little time together.
Yeah.
We talked jet lag, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I mean, in terms of the actual squad themselves, Arnie's playing in that manager role because he's never there coaching them. They never get that time to play. He's just looking at them and how they play in their existing teams and saying, okay, yeah, I think they're going to work well together based off how they perform with different players.
Yeah.
I actually just think it's a very difficult period of time for the Socceroos.
Yeah, he's actually written a doc on this whole lost generation and what happened when we moved into Asia. We stopped qualifying for youth tournaments. Our system kind of went out the window. We moved to the A League and we started playing less games. I mean, the A League was like 27 games a season up until recently. And the NPL, you've played in the NPL,
Nothing.
22 games,
Yeah,
Olan.
so such a
How many games you used to play in
train, the NPL, I always say this. It's the only league or semi-professional league where the pre-season is longer than the actual season.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you like guys are getting in shape, training really hard, and then they're getting injured the first week before the season starts.
Yeah.
And then you're out for the rest of the season, the actual season.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. I think they're trying to change it and make it a longer season. I'm not
They
sure.
are. They're trying to do something. But I mean, that's the biggest thing. And he said it himself. He's got only about 33 players max to pick from. Because the A-League players haven't kicked the ball since, when was it?
Yeah.
May, June for the
you can't-
finalists?
Yeah, you can't even pick them. Yeah.
Like 6 months off almost for some of these players. It's
I
not
think
really good enough.
The whole aura of the team, if I can use that word, is just completely different too. Back in 2004, 2005, these guys learnt to play football on the streets in the backyard. They weren't overcoached the way I feel players are now.
Okay.
And they're kind of thrown into this very clinical style of football that, frankly, everyone's the same. And to be honest, it's not even looked upon that positively overseas either.
Claudes, I want you to ask you, what do you think about like so when we talk about those type of players that Kat's talking about, right?
Yeah.
So those players that grew up on the streets, those players that are like in the backyards, doing all those kind of players that you can't mold, you can't buy those kind of players, right?
Yeah.
So the players from my recent experience in Australia, currently at the NPL level or a bit higher, are not those kind of players because they are in a higher, how do you say it? Their parents have money. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay. So the crop of players that you're currently developing in Australia, I believe, don't have that kind of gritty mindset as in like, I need to make it, like I need to help my mum move out of here. You know what I mean? My parents are still kind of well off. It doesn't really matter too much. So like, what
It's
are
an
your
elitist sport.
Yeah. What are your kind of thoughts on the caliber of players that are currently being developed and like the area that they live in and that kind of thing?
Yeah, it is strange because it's an elitist sport here, and I don't think it is really anywhere else in the world.
No
like
way.
my dad grew up in Argentina for many years. I went over to see it, and it's like the elitist sport is rugby union, you know, and polo and all that,
it's
and
like
the street
premium.
sport is football.
Should always
It's
be
like,
that way.
That's the way it is, right?
Should
Because it's the
always be
easiest
that
sport
way.
to play. You can tie some
Yeah.
socks together and play. This is the only country in the world where, you know, take Sydney. We're in Sydney, for example. Rugby league is I guess the people's game, and football is the elitist sport because it costs $2,500-3,000 for your kid to play at a
Yeah.
decent
Crazy,
level, right?
crazy.
Yeah.
And that might be you're right. That might be influencing our X factors. We're losing the X factors young. You know, a story came out recently of Chelsea scouted Mason Mount at 6 years old, and they were hunting him because they saw
Wow.
X factor in it.
Wow.
And we can't really do that, I guess, maybe because those kids don't even get a chance to play because maybe their parents can't afford. That's a whole nother discussion.
It is.
I know. There's so many problems throughout it. And again, in my chat with Arnie, we spoke about lots of things. We spoke about the fact that you got all these state federations. Football New South Wales can do whatever the hell they want. Football Queensland can have a whole different system. Football West can have a whole different system. Victoria do whatever they want. And it's like, you can't end up all developing the same national team at the end.
Yeah.
Everyone's
on
too many
different
Chiefs.
Everyone's on different pages.
Exactly. Too many Chiefs.
And didn't you say there was a period of time when teams all had to play in the same formation as well?
What? Yeah, the FFA has a curriculum which is like this whole 4-3-3 that they're trying to push, and I guess it adds to what you're saying. Every player is the same.
That clinical.
What do you fix first? That's the thing. See, there's so many problems.
Grassroots.
Yeah.
There's so many problems. Yeah.
Grassroots.
I mean, you. That's exactly right.
That's the
because
start of the
the
grassroots.
level
That's
that
the
I
next
play,
gen.
there's so much space for improvement.
The grassroots is where
Yeah.
everything starts at.
Yeah. I guess it's just tough because we don't have football in our DNA. And that's what we need to change. So it's like,
But then again, the other problem is that there's so many sports in Australia, which is why I do understand the other argument, where like it's the same argument when I talk to. I remember when I was living in America, and people were like, oh well, Americans aren't that good at soccer or football, or whatever. And I'm like, the best athlete is probably playing basketball.
Yeah.
Like LeBron James. Imagine if LeBron James put that effort into playing football.
Playing at the back, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like, it's probably the same thing in terms of Australia, where maybe the best athlete in Australia right now is not playing football.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, the one of the top try scorers in the NRL is Alex Johnston, plays for South Sydney. He played Here we go.
Is that
He played-
Maruba? No?
Yeah.
Up the bunnies?
Up the bunnies.
Up the bunnies.
Up the bunnies. But Alex Johnson played NPL
Okay.
up until he was 18 or something.
Yeah.
Once again, don't quote me. I don't know him. But he had to make that decision. Do I go the NRL route for my career, or do I go the NPL route? Who knows? He could have been
I
playing
hate
for the
people that
Socceroos.
have that kind of decision to make.
Yeah.
Because it's like, fuck, you're that good at both
But,
sports?
no, but that was
I was hardly ever good at flipping one sport. I
Yeah.
tried my hardest.
Yeah.
You had two?
Yeah,
Jesus,
exactly.
man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like people that are actors, singers, and dancers. Like, but pick one, man.
Yeah.
Be good
yeah.
at one.
Leave some for the rest of us.
yeah,
man.
exactly.
Yeah. But
that's massive. That is true.
But that's the thing, right? Like in England, there's no second option, right? It's football, football.
It's literally, in England growing up, it's literally like you can't not play football.
Yeah, and that's the
It's
difference.
like you cannot not go to a park and just kick around or whatever. You cannot not, like, even people that have not even played at, some of the best ballers that I've met have not even played at any academies or nothing. You know what I mean? Like you might walk into a random park and you just see this guy balling. You're like, what the hell? This guy should be a pro. Like, that's the kind of base level it is in England. You go to any random park anywhere in London and you'll see a baller that you think this guy should probably be pro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that it's
I
just in the
loved
DNA.
When I was living overseas and I would fly into London, I would just join and play football.
Street ball,
every
yeah.
time-
That's
street
what
ball
it's
every time I
about.
got there.
You don't see
and
that
the
over
quality
here.
of the
Yeah.
football was
Don't
just
see that
so
over here.
much fun.
But either way, I mean, there are so many problems.
Yeah.
However, we've got to get excited when our country's playing. England's in action as well this weekend, but the Aussies, they're playing Thursday night. They're also playing next week against China. I want to know, Olan, can you name an Australian player in that starting lineup?
Mitchell Duke.
Out of everyone you got to pick from, you got
I like him, the Duke of Sydney. Is he in? Is he in?
Fair enough.
Is
Yeah,
he in?
and he went to the
there we
Olympics
go.
as well.
There we go, Duke. If you listen to this, please follow me.
I rate that. Out of every player, Mitchie Duke. Nah, he works his socks off.
Decent
Mitchie Duke.
player,
Yeah, he
decent
works.
player. I like
Works his
him.
ass off.
I just think he'd be one of those players where if he actually went over to England, I know he had a couple options. At one point, he'd be one of those players where like people were like, "Oh, he's a decent striker."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like he'd be at maybe a smaller club, but
Yeah.
they'd love him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he works hard. Nah, he's got an engine on him. Brilliant. Can't wait for the Aussies, and hopefully we got good things to say on the potty next week.
Yes.
For now, we have been throwing out our questions to everyone watching. Reaction's been really good. Flooded. Right?
thank you
Across
guys, love it, man.
YouTube, Instagram, the DMs, everything. Make sure you do slide into those DMs. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. Do not slide into Olan's DMs.
Don't slide in my DMs.
Don't wanna
man.
be there.
I've got enough women in there.
You do.
All right, and I'm not even replying to them.
And
you
that's
know?
a lie. I've seen it myself. That is
90% guys.
do that audience scale there at 99%. man.
100%. There's no women in there.
But this one's from Antony on Instagram.
Man, like, and
Ant says, if Conte wins the league with Spurs, would he be in the conversation for best Premier League manager ever?
He's already top 5, like
he's top
managers
100
easily.
Oh, be cool. Okay.
If he can turn,
You think he's not
the
top 5?
Claude,
Conte not
you're
top 5?
I'm
Fabiano,
Italian.
come
I'm
on.
Italian. I got to back it right.
Name top 5.
Premier League managers.
Yeah,
I mean, Ferguson,
Yeah.
Wenger, Mourinho,
yeah,
Pep.
yeah. How many is that? 5?
That's 4.
Klopp.
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 Oh,
Thinking
nah, he's not top
Klopp.
5. He's top 10. He's
top
top
10.
10 when you name them off. Now he's top 10. But
Yeah.
if he wins, what did you say?
If he wins the Prem.
If he wins the Prem and he can turn around the Spurs right now,
because they're in the mud.
he's up there.
Yeah.
I don't know whether he's the best, but that would be remarkable, honestly.
Yeah, that would definitely, because obviously I respect him extremely high what he did for us at Chelsea, so he's always high on my mark. But if he can do the same job at Spurs, which I think they're one of them clubs where they're just down in the mud, like Harry Kane clearly doesn't know if he wants to be there or not be there. Loads of people aren't performing. They're not firing the way they're supposed to be firing. The defenders aren't really doing what they're supposed to do. If he can turn around that defence and turn around that team and make them go to a Premier League title, that would definitely, he'd definitely be in that conversation of flipping Pep.
Yeah. Even after a week, the pace,
it looks better.
Better pace on the ball.
But that always happens though.
Okay, they're feeling fresh.
Yeah, that always
But
happens. Whenever a new manager comes in,
For-
the spikes, everyone's like buzzing, they want to start.
I think the biggest thing though for Spurs, they've got the talent. It's that mentality. How do they change that mentality? And if he can do that for them,
And it's the whole Harry
will be
Kane thing.
amazing.
Like, how he has not been firing this season. Like, is
He's
he
trash.
Is he gone? Is he like?
maybe
what,
he's
what do you
not
think?
really. I don't feel like he's there.
Yeah, he just.
Well, he had a gentleman's agreement with the owner, and when you don't fulfill that gentleman's agreement, that handshake,
that's so far off.
you don't like that?
Man had a handshake to say that I'm going to stay at the club for this long period of time. Bro, you're Harry Kane. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And his dad's his agent or something.
I don't know.
That's his dad or his family member's an agent. That's probably why it happened. But what an idiot.
Get your lawyer in the house, eh? Yeah. Look, nonetheless,
I mean, he even had that. Oh, I don't know if you know about it, but he had that. He had a whole interview. I don't know if I was in England when it was in.
when he was playing golf.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well,
he
like,
said he was
What
leaving.
happened?
I'm leaving Tottenham.
Yeah.
I'm going here.
Yeah.
I'm
Really?
blah blah blah. It's
I
been a
didn't see
pleasure.
this.
Blah blah blah. And then he's staying.
Yeah, bad. Not good.
that's very
Not very
bad.
well handled. But nonetheless, Conte won't stand for that shit. He's a hard ass. I've seen it before. And let's see what he does there. His next one is also on Instagram. It was from Gift.
Man, like gift.
Man like Gift says, thoughts on Arsenal. Can they make the top 4? Keep this one quick and easy. Are Arsenal making the top 4?
No.
No, not if West Ham keep playing like this.
Yeah, it's true, right? Yeah.
West Ham come out the woodwork, man. They're
Yeah.
firing. I'm saying that.
Nah.
Arteta's doing good things for that club,
Yeah.
and they've got a lot of young talent, and we're really seeing them come through. But top 4 is rich.
Well, they're yet to beat a big team. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do rate them from where they were at the start of the season to where they've now
Me
become.
too.
That is huge. And the
Yeah.
fact that they kept Arteta,
Yeah.
massive. But
Respect.
top
Yeah.
4, I don't think so.
Yeah. Fair. I think I'll agree with you on that one. Especially, I mean, I'd love to see West Ham playing in the Champions League next season.
Be mad.
This next one is on YouTube from IzzyHunk.
Man, like Izzy.
I like this one. I like this one a lot. And this is going to get you two going. Prime Hazard versus Prime Salah. Who you taking?
Oh, I hate
Here
this.
you go.
All right. Oh, Liverpool. Hazard's brilliant.
Whoa.
And I'm not saying it's not Salah, but I am saying you're freaking me
Shut
out.
the gates.
Whoa,
What are you even
we've got a
considering this
Liverpool
one?
fan here who's
Look,
gone.
it's a longevity thing for me, right?
True, yeah,
If Salah
facts.
can do what he's doing for another 2 years,
Mm.
I'd say yeah.
That's
yes.
bang out of order, mate.
What are coming
You
for you in the
reckon?
comments? They
You
were coming
reckon?
for your cat. What do you mean, mate? Salah over Hazard?
I'm a
Are you
Liverpool
kidding
fan,
me?
but above all, I'm a football fan,
Oh.
and I can appreciate a good footballer when I see
I love
it.
that. You're not blinded by the whole Salah thing. I
No.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I want to say Salah,
Yeah.
but what I've seen from Hazard has been just unbelievable. But for right now,
Sure.
it's obviously Salah.
Okay. Interesting.
In this moment in
I'm
time.
going Hazard. No
Yeah.
questions asked. Just because there was too long of a period where he was just too good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he was just that player that every single time he played, you knew what he was going to do. You knew he was going to be a problem, but no one could defend him.
Yeah.
And that was not like a 1 year period. That was like 4 to 5
Yeah.
years,
Yeah.
I want to say. So
Yeah.
I'm always going to go.
And
Hazard.
to be fair, I go back to thinking how he made me feel as a Liverpool fan too. And he scared the shit out of me.
Remember that goal that he
And
scored where he cut in?
Anfield.
Yeah, cut in.
That
Top
might
man,
may or may
Meg
not
man
what
come
I'm
back in, bang the bottom corner.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
And it scares me.
Yeah.
So for that reason,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Fair enough. I mean, look, Salah's goal turnover is insane. I can
Yeah.
admit that even as a Chelsea fan. So if he
Yeah.
keeps doing that,
Yeah.
I think he'll be above Hazard. But at the
Yeah.
moment, I'm happy to stick with Super Eden. Last one on Instagram from Matt. Matt says, if you had to write a book based on the best football fairy tale, what would it be? Can be any story in football that just stands out as the most incredible fairy tale.
Yeah.
Against all odds, what would it be? What's the best one?
2005. Istanbul.
Oh, Istanbul.
It's the
Liverpool are
old
3-0
Liverpool.
down.
Yeah, but that's one game, Kate. You're going to write a whole
It's
book
a-
on one
yes.
game?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
and I will tell you that books have been written.
Okay, you tell us a bit more about those books that have been written, Kat.
It was a 90-minute game.
Yeah,
it was really put some good storytelling into that.
Yeah.
The effect that had on the club.
True.
And, you know, a moment of
think
silence
Liverpool
for the people who turned the game off at halftime.
Do you think Liverpool became a Champions League club after that game? Like the belief, the belief of the whole comeback thing?
Again, because they were in the 80s, but they were back.
Yeah.
That was their crowning.
You could say it was the start of the fairy tale.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm buying that because it was a great game, Kat. But we've seen La Remontada, which was of course Barca against PSG. We've seen Liverpool do it again, actually against Barca. We've seen all these things happen.
What's the famous quote for the game? Trent, short corner.
Yeah.
Origi.
Yeah, corner taken quickly. Yeah, we've seen all that.
Take it quickly.
We've seen all that happen, right? And we've seen incredible. We've seen Ole Gunnar Solskjaer goal, of course, in United's crazy comeback. But I think for a season, Leicester City's got to be a shout.
Yeah, I'm going Leicester City because that is just one of those. And I just remember watching that season, and I think every football fan was almost like rooting for Leicester at some point, just like, go on Leicester.
Yeah.
And it was like Vardy, Mahrez,
Yeah.
Kante, all these players that cost under 50 mil.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, who are these players?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they just had this well-oiled machine that just seemed to just keep going and keep going. I actually had a mate who was at Leicester when they won it.
You're kidding.
And he was under
Is it
20.
Vardy?
He was is it fucking Vardy? I'd have a picture with him on my flipping Instagram if it was Vardy. But he was at Leicester under 23s, right? And guess what? They won the whole when Leicester won. They didn't get a pay rise. They didn't get any bonuses.
Nah.
The under 23s.
Of course, when the under 23s.
I'm fuming. I want a bonus. We just won the Premier
The
League.
23s.
Yeah, I want a little bit of something, though.
All the first team players actually got brand new BMW i8s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He made first team caps, but I'm like, I want a little bonus as well. We just won the Premier League. Where's my bonus?
Yeah, it's huge.
I'm the future.
Yeah.
He's not playing for Leicester anymore, but anyway.
When you put it like that.
Yeah.
You know, that was a brilliant season.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest fairy tale in Premier League history. But I will give a shout out to I think this Matt, I know he's Italian, and so I'm going to give a shout out to Hellas Verona 80s squad as well. Did very much the same thing as Leicester, but you don't read about it as much because it was in the Italian Serie A. But Elare, all the Greeks, Euro 2004, that was huge as well. Denmark in 92. Nottingham Forest won back-to-back Champions League. And our Western Sydney Wanderers here, winning the Asian Champions League, only 2 years into their existence.
The Asian
That's big
that
too,
was
right?
That was big when it happened.
2 years into the existence, that's huge.
Yeah, massive, right? And it hasn't been done since.
And no one in the A-League has won it since.
No.
Wow.
Ever. They're the only A-League team to win that
Yeah,
trophy.
that's actually huge.
You know, that's why we love football. It's the storylines. And because of that, it writes itself. So we'll be back next week once again because football will write itself once again during this international break, which I'm excited for because international football is what we live for. Kat, give me one word to describe international football.
Better be good, Kat. Oh, one word to describe international football.
International.
Go, Kat.
Exciting.
Oh my God.
I did that one
I
on
beg you lot
purpose.
get her in the comments.
I did that on purpose.
Every week you bottle that.
Yeah, I'm going to go down bad astronomically. Yeah, I said a whole lot of nothing, but it made sense.
You hate it, huh?
I don't really like it. I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm a fan of England when they're playing, but is it my favourite type of football? No.
No.
Okay. That sucks to be you, bro. I'm going to say purity because this is the purest form of football that you can get. Players representing their nations. I'm pumped for it, guys. I'll be at the game as well on Thursday. Hopefully see you two there. Kat, I think you still need to buy your tickets.
I still need a
Can
ticket.
anyone
So
get
if
me
anyone's
tickets?
got
If you
one.
can get me tickets, just let me know.
You have tickets.
You have
afford
tickets.
It. I can't afford it.
I can pull that.
I really can't, you know. I'm doing
That
a lot of
is
things.
so
I'm
rich
running
from
around.
Mr.
You know.
Coogee.
If you can get me tickets, get at me.
Bullshit. I've seen your sponsored posts on TikTok. I know you're making bank off that shit.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't give me that. Nonetheless, guys, thanks for joining us on Born Offside. Make sure you leave your comments. Send your questions in for next week. You guys are going to fuel the conversation. Enjoy international football. I know I will. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week, guys.
See ya.
Down.